Welcome to the Love Story Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Green, where we are capturing the magic of every love story. Oh, that was the saddest cry.
This is why we were late. I was trying to make sure she was well fed before we came, and
now she's like, there's activity happening elsewhere, and I don't get any attention. This will make a great blooper reel. Yeah.
There is a tiny baby crying, in case you can't hear that.
And now just demanding attention. Is this an accurate representation of her personality? Just like now all of a sudden it's like, I want attention?
I don't know. I think she's been pretty good. I mean, it's been mostly Tracy who's been hanging out with her, so I don't hear much crying because when there's a cry, it's...
Oh, yeah.
Time to eat.
Anytime she squawks, I just stick her on the boob.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at home, it's not that big of a deal, and then I can continue going on and playing
living
with
your
the other
life.
kids. When his mom got there, I was feeding her, and Colton wanted me, and so, like, I'm feeding her on this side and then
Double
holding
kid
Colton on
net.
that side. She's like, really? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, this is what we do.
It helps that Colton is, 2.5, but still only
Yes.
18 pounds, so
Yes.
I can
Yes.
do that.
Well, we've got a break in the activity.
Yeah, I
We
think we're
have
good.
on the Love Story Podcast today, we have the Odels. We have Joe and Tracy. So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So real quick, I met Joe first, and over the handful of years that I've known you guys, I would say have much more interaction with Joe. So I've only gotten kind of the Joe side of your entire lives and stories.
sorry.
Yeah. Yes. I am so excited to get
The unrated
the
version.
The truth?
the rebuttal.
Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Yes. So, where do you guys want to start? And then we can kind of start anywhere. Of course, we have it in the studio. We have us, producer Abby, and then also the littlest Odel.
Delaney.
Yes, the newest. So fresh baby in the house.
I mean, let's start back at the OG. I mean, that's where it all started for us, was the Olive Garden circa 2007, 8.
I think.
It's so hard to look back. We use children as
Yes,
an
as
age
milestone.
differentiator now, and if it's prior to 7 years ago, it's like, God, when was that? But yeah, we had met at the Olive Garden training class was the first time that I saw Tracy.
The
There
Olive
was-
Garden training
Yeah.
class.
Oh man,
Okay.
we all
Super
looked like we
romantic.
were from Hogwarts, right? We had our white button-down shirts with a tie.
Yes.
And it was, I mean, some of them were Hogwarts colors, and so
Mine was like the green and blue.
yep.
How
And-
did you differentiate? Not that Olive Garden is going to get a ton of press from this podcast, but what did the colors mean?
Whichever
Nothing.
tie you
Oh.
picked.
No,
Oh.
and it would suck if you didn't want the Gryffindor color, if you were more like a Slytherin, and you're like, don't give me that, Jennifer.
Yeah.
But sometimes you would have it, and like
But
I
you were
liked,
sorted, and
I liked the
that's-
blue. It's accented my eyes, and then sometimes I'd wear the black to accent my
And
heart.
you get better tips and yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so
You
we're
were
in
stuck in the back, though.
I was for the most part. I was in the
and
back.
you still had to wear a tie in the back?
No, but when
Okay.
I came to the front of the house, I ended up doing both. I loved it. I loved being up front and dressing
But
up.
I was
and-
in the white shirt and the tie, so he's like, that dude looks hot. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you met in the Olive Garden training course. Was it immediate sparks flying both sides? So Joe obviously caught your eye, or you caught his eye. Was it
You
mutual?
crossed my eyes. I was like, damn, girl.
I mean, honestly, he remembers it a lot more than I do. I just remember working with him. I guess I don't remember
Sure.
the class.
But from moment
se.
one, he sees you and he was like, "Whoa."
Hop on.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And there was other girls there. I mean, it was college, right? And so there was like 25 of us getting trained, 5 of us in the kitchen, and then the 25 servers getting trained in. And it was just like,
when I had to start as a host.
yes.
yeah, there was some honeys there, but I remember
She was
you.
the sweetest honey.
I saw her.
Yeah. Okay. And so then you guys worked together for how long?
Well, we ended up kind of hanging out 1 or 2 times, and I stole her number from one of her friends, and I lied to you about it, right?
He texted me, and then I was like, how did you get my number? Like, I didn't give... Oh, yes, you did. You gave me your number. And I was like,
Ooh.
No, I-
Kicking off a
No, I
relationship. with
didn't.
lies.
Lies. Yes.
and then, I came to find out that, so one of the girls that I was like good friends with, one of the hosts, she was dating one of the kitchen guys. And so Joe asked the kitchen guy to ask his girlfriend to
Yes.
get my number and then tried to play it
Circle
off like
yes
I
or
gave it
no,
to him when I
pass
was
it
drunk.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of was like that, and then she was like I think you were showing interest in me. You invited me to a party. She called me one night with one of the guys from the kitchens at his party, and it was too late for me. I had Rescue 1 class the next morning at 8, and I couldn't. And
Rescue one, you had to go
firefighting
Yes,
stuff.
of course. Yeah. Give
So-
yourself.
Pretty
give
sure I had
yourself
like
props.
biochem at 8:00 and I still was.
Yeah, you were a trooper. You were a UMD kid. I was an LSC kid. So, I didn't go to that party, and then the next party I attended, this other server who had worked at the Olive Garden prior to us being there, showed interest in me. And so I'm 20 years old.
Yeah,
This
and
chick's
you've got-
26.
Oh, no.
So, Ashley, let me tell you.
Older woman.
Older woman,
Okay,
and
yes.
I was just like,
experienced.
I didn't know a lot about Tracy, and I thought this other, I really
She was gonna
knew more
fast
about
track
her.
you
So I was
right
like,
into
hey
it,
man,
yeah.
I'm gonna be a man, and so I dated this.
Is that
chick.
man or is that's not? That's you're gonna be.
I'm a college kid.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
ooh, shiny object.
Yes. Yeah.
She was shiny. She knew how to wear makeup. I still don't.
Tracy was
So-
playing
You don't
rugby.
need it. You don't
Tracy
need
was
it.
literally she was playing rugby because she at UMD she played rugby, and so you were all beat up and bruised. She had a dented femur at one point.
Holy
Not
Dude,
at
this
that
chick.
point, though.
So she was a different breed of woman. Let's just say
Yeah.
she was.
Tracy's
Tracy's the tomboy, like hang out
I
with
would-
the
I
dudes,
wouldn't
watch
even
Sons
say-
of
Painting a great
Anarchy.
picture.
You're amazing. You're my kind of lady, you know. And she was it was different, and I gravitated towards that. And for 2 years, I dated this other girl whilst working next to Tracy and through the kitchen and all that. And
But not talking much because
There
she
wasn't.
wouldn't let him talk to me.
Right.
she knew that I liked Tracy before her, and she was like,
yeah.
"You're not
yeah,
talking."
We're
to her."
done there. Yeah.
And so that was kind of weird. Like I couldn't even have you as my friend, and you were a cool chick.
Well, and it wasn't anything like even big. It's not like we had dated or like
Yeah.
had sex, done anything. We like talked.
Just
and
caught
She
eyes.
saw the
she's
way
like,
I looked at you,
Yes.
and she felt
Yeah, she knew.
fear. She's like,
Threatened.
I need to stop this right now. I know where this goes.
Yeah.
Oh, Lainey, I loved her. I love her now, though. I do. And so I dated this girl for 2 years, and then things kind of started to change for us. And I went snowboarding with some friends, and Tracy was there too. She had
So
her hair.
she's a rugby player,
dude.
snowboarder. She's into all the things that Joe's like, yep, I'm
I was
here
like,
for this.
what am I doing?
Truly. Yeah.
Trying to make this other relationship work. And we went snowboarding, and just spending the day doing that with you and all of our friends, I was like, this chick is so cool. And I remember I was going to go down to my girlfriend's place at this time, and we were already on the rocks, right? And I was just like not feeling it. I was just like, I'm thinking about this other chick.
Yeah, I don't want to go down there.
And that started the decline of her and I I just gravitated more towards Tracy, and once she showed interest in me, it was like, okay, well, how do I get you away from that guy you're hanging out with? Because now I'm ready.
Because I wasn't sitting here just like waiting for him
Well,
to come
right,
back. You know,
right.
I had my own life, did all that stuff. But his version of the story is I sat and waited,
Of course. Yeah.
crying every night.
Yes. Just looking at a picture of him and weeping.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. And then you had, of course, a voodoo doll of the other chick.
Yep.
And yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then and so we started dating and everything, and she, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but your ex-boyfriend was going to end up moving into the house that you were living in, right?
Yes, that was fun. Yep, we had like mutual friends. I ended up living with them. He was somewhere else, was going to come back, and they were going to let him move in. And I was like, no, I don't want that.
And I was like, no.
Yeah. I hear horrible things about this guy. You don't want him hanging around.
She was my chick now, and I didn't no.
Yeah. You
So
peed
you-
on her. She was yours.
At that time, it was my property. And
There's a
me,
lot of crazy nights at Twins Bar. You very well could have tried to.
yeah. And my brother and I had just gotten an apartment together at that time, shortly before that. And me and Trace were hanging out together, like plenty, and I'm just like, this comes up, and I'm thinking, you can come stay with us, and
I don't even- you weren't even
I'm
the one that
thinking
brought
that,
it up
and I
first, though.
didn't. I was thinking that in my head, but I wasn't going to say it to my brother because we just got our bachelor pad together.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, why don't you come live with us? And then I started to think, dude, I don't know is this a bad idea?
Yeah.
Like, do I she's cool and stuff, but like,
Yeah. Yeah.
do I want to live with this
Do I
woman?
want to see her blonde hair all over the shower walls?
I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's short now compared to usual.
Ooh, wow.
Still
Yeah.
everywhere. And yeah, I was just like, okay, well, we'll roll with it. One more person to help pay rent, right?
There you go. Yeah.
My plan was only to like move in while I was looking for an apartment
Sure.
with like another girl and stuff too. It wasn't meant to be a permanent
You didn't
thing.
mean to
'cause that
crash
was-
our bachelor pad, and that's how my brother puts it. Is you crashed our bachelor pad, and But we became like it was really cool. Like
The three best friends
our
that anybody could
relationship with my brother and us, and we had a lot of fun times at Twins Bar and Grandma's and all the Duluth times. And so we did that there for what was it, 2, 3 years, 3, 4 years, however many years we were in
I don't
Duluth.
think it was that long.
Well, you went to college, so I went to college for 3 years for a 2-year program. I know that. So, because I was working full time at the Olive Garden, also not
Yeah,
because I was
crushing it.
lazy.
No, you were out
I was
crushing
very
it.
busy.
So what were you going to college for, Joe?
I went for fire technology and administration. So
Okay.
firefighters that want to know more about what they're running into,
Okay, sure.
which is now I think a lot of it is standard that, hey, you should take these classes so that you know what you're getting into instead
Sure.
of back then we would just take anybody who would volunteer to help
Yeah.
on the bucket brigade. It's like, yeah, let's go. Like,
You talk about it like you're a firefighter.
I'm not. I wish I wish and I don't wish because what a job. But I loved being involved in it and learning it and doing it while that was the passion of my life at that point. But then obviously the
Tracy
kitchen
became the passion of your
yeah,
life.
Tracy and the Olive Garden became the passion and whisked us off to Minot, North Dakota.
Okay, hold
together.
on. We're not there yet
We're
because
just
Tracy, what are
about,
you
right?
going to college for?
I was going to college. I was going pre-med at
Okay.
first, and
Okay.
then decided that I wanted to have a family before I was like 84.
Uh-huh.
So wanted to switch to nursing, but if I would have switched at that time, I would have had to do like a full 4 years at
Okay.
St. Scholastica, which cost way too much money.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up graduating with a biology and chemistry major.
Okay. And then you get whisked off to Minot, North Dakota at this point.
Yes, because when we got together, when we officially got together, I must have like just graduated, or was just about to.
it was
Or
yep.
2009, something like that.
God, life is so hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah.
All those nights at the Twins Bar, honey.
And you were living together before you had officially gotten together, or you officially got together? Okay, so officially got together, moved in together, and then going to college, do the whole graduate thing, and then Minot, North Dakota, beacon to the west. You guys
Yeah.
are like, let's pack up
Why
and
not
go.
Minot?
Yeah, well,
We gotta go.
they opened an Olive Garden out there, and it was when
I love that Olive Garden is interwoven through the early days of the
serious.
Odel
I wish
romance.
it wasn't so interwoven into the fabric, but it's deep. you know?
Oh, that smell
The
of garlic
Hospitaliano goes a long
breadsticks
ways with us.
stuck in all of your
Oh,
clothes.
and that
always.
zuppa toscana. I mean,
Come
mwah,
on, tell me,
just
like, the best, right? And so they had opened up this Olive Garden out there, and they were paying people insane amount of money out there to work at McDonald's anywhere at
Sure.
the time because it was the oil boom. And we were in Duluth at this time, and they said, "Hey, we'll give you this raise, whatever, if you want to go and train out there and live out there for a year." And Tracy was a bar trainer and server trainer. Like we were like, yeah, we got nothing else to do. She was just gonna do her other part of her nursing program. We were like, well, let's go check out Minot. And so we lived out there for a year, and
was it
and-
the best of times or the worst of times?
we learned a lot about each other out there.
Okay.
My brother actually ended up moving out there with us and crashed
After we
our
moved
party.
out there, then like 3-4 months later, he's like, "I'm lonely. Can I come out there?"
He came out and it was it was interesting because then he started dating my manager.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
and it's corporate, so like that's not supposed to happen. Like she knows he's my brother, she shouldn't even talk to him.
And now we're exposing them both on the
Yep.
podcast. Okay.
Tamara and John,
Okay. All right.
and
That was weird.
and it just changed. You know how you ladies just make us either the best versions of ourselves or not. But he
She did not.
changed, and
Okay.
we came back to Minnesota, and our relationships had changed. So we all went our separate ways, and we went to Baxter Olive Garden, where we opened up, yes, an Olive Garden in Baxter, and I stayed there while Tracy then.
I went back up to Duluth because then
Okay.
St. Scholastica has an accelerated nursing program.
Okay.
So 15 months and then you have your bachelor's in nursing.
Okay.
So you could do that online or go up to school. And so I went up there, lived with some friends, did the 15-month program.
Okay.
um,
Was this
for nursing.
like emotionally painful? Like, how did you guys manage to get through that? Were you like ready? Like, yeah, let's take a little bit of a living together break, or
No, every Sunday.
It was out of
sucked.
necessity. It was
Yeah.
out of needing her to do it because it only made sense for her to do it. And I had a brand new restaurant at the Olive Garden that
Sure.
I was still training
Yeah.
everybody working 60, 80 hours a week. So I was like, hey, I'm cool here if you want to go up there, and then we'll just see each other on the weekend.
have you had the "we're going to be married someday" conversation at this point?
I don't know. I think I kind of just assumed you were going to be my gal.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever actually like talked about it like at that point. I think it was just like
Once you met my family and I saw that you could deal with them, I knew you were in. I was like, cool, she'll stay around. You know? But it wasn't really a conversation yet because we were still both like she was still technically in school and I was starting my new career, and it was just like balls to the walls for that 16 months to that 2-year part, wasn't it?
no, not all the way, because then you had come up. So we were living apart, and then either I'd come down or he would come up. But like the accelerated program is an accelerated program. Like I had
It's
tests
intense, yeah.
all the time,
Dude.
so like there wasn't a lot of free time in between, and
Yeah.
so like even when we would hang out, it was like relaxing, or I had to study, or
Yeah.
not doing much of
Yeah,
stuff.
keep
But
your hands off of me.
There was no
got
Netflix
work
and
to do.
chill
Yeah.
back then. Okay.
yeah, it was like you can Netflix and I have to study.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you can sit next to me while I do it.
Right. Isn't this romantic?
Yep. So it was interesting. Sunday nights definitely sucked because like I'd come back down to our apartment in like Baxter and then like leave the latest possible. So I'm like driving the 2.5 hours up to
Yes.
Duluth at 10:30 at night because I would have class at 8 o'clock in
Yeah.
the morning. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
so yeah, that was tough. But then you ended up coming up. Oh gosh, there was one weekend for. Was it just for the fall colors?
Mm-hmm.
Or it was a couple weekends before that.
I came up a couple weekends before, and then for that,
He had come like a month
we're talking about
before
the
or
proposal,
something.
right?
Yes. He had come up like a month before
Yep.
and then had brought up we went to the mall, the super cool Miller
Took
Hill
her to
Mall.
the mall.
Yeah.
Miller Hill Mall.
Absolutely. I'm familiar.
And yeah, we were walking around and he's like, should we go peek like at that jewelry store? And I was like,
So this is your
Okay.
proposal? Can we go peek at the jewelry store?
so yeah.
So you
we-
want to peek? Yeah.
Pretty
Okay.
much. We went in there and we looked and like I wasn't looking like super hard, but we were looking at some, and then they had talked about like I don't remember what it was, but he was like, okay, why don't you go out there? I just want to get like a little more information.
A little bit more information. I don't need you standing here. I'm just trying to collect some data here so I can make an educated decision on a perfect cut diamond for you. Eventually, maybe someday.
And they had talked that like there was going to be like a sale in like a month or something. And then
Sure.
Afterwards, when we had left, he was like just like acting like weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was just like, I don't know, that was just a lot. Like I think I'm just stressed about this. And I was like,
He's putting that theater
fine.
chops to
I
work.
was using
Yeah.
the theater. I was sweating bullets. Like, just even talking about the cost of this stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I don't,
I'm so nervous.
Why do we even want to get married? It's just a piece of paper, right? And just really playing into that doubt. Yeah.
well,
it
and I
was
mean, the
good.
ring was like $30 from Claire's. So, I mean, it was a lot of money for him to spend. He was going to come back up the first weekend in October. And I was like, that's the weekend that they're having the sale at the jewelry store.
You didn't put that together.
Tracy's
That's
not an
literally
idiot.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
whole thing. And I was like, is he coming? So I was like, but so then he came up and then we were going to go up the North Shore to like look at the leaves because that's what
Yeah.
we always did. Go up to Gooseberry and a couple other like hiking trails and stuff further up. And we ended up going up there and he kept asking like, is this the one spot you like? And I was like, no, I think it's like up farther. And,
And
we're
you,
going.
in
I'm
the
like,
back of your head, you're like, it's happening.
He's taking me somewhere to kill me.
no, I was thinking he was like tired of hiking already and we had just started or
Okay.
something. I was like,
Okay,
nope, it's
yeah,
a little
he-
bit
I was
farther.
pretty lazy back then.
Wanting to get back to Twins Bar or something.
Wherever. Yeah.
So yeah, we had ended up like hiking farther, and I was like, "This is like the cool outlook because
Yeah.
you can see like gorgeous trees for miles, and then you can see the lake in the background and everything cool." And then all of a sudden, he kind of like got quiet, and then he's like, "So this is a place?" And I was like, "Yes, this is the rock I like."
I don't want to
Take
fuck
it
this
on
up.
hiking.
Like, I have one shot at this.
I was like,
I'm
yes,
going to
we
be
have
as
lots
coy
of
as I
places
can
that-
about, this is the place you said you really liked, right? Like this, was it this rock or was that rock up there? Well, let's walk up to that rock then.
I'm thinking we're walking up a mountain and stop at the outlooks on the way up there.
Mind you, I have this freaking jewelry box in the back of my pocket that I've been hiding for like the last however many days, and like can't have it in the front, and we're hiking, and so like, and I wasn't gonna just put the ring in my pocket. Like,
Oh, no.
it stayed in
So
that
stressful.
freaking thing, and it stayed in that back pocket, and it was just like, gosh, it was my mind was just on so many different things. I couldn't let her see my butt. I couldn't tell her what my true intentions were. I was trying to lie about things I didn't even. I knew where we were going. We've hiked up here plenty of times. It's not this rock. It is that rock. But I'm shooting.
Clearly, you played
shoot
it
from the
so
hip
cool.
here. Yeah, and then we got to that rock, And
You said some stuff.
I did. I didn't write anything down or anything. I don't even remember what it was now. Probably. You're so amazing, Tracy. I think that you'd be the most perfect addition to my life.
No,
Will
it
you
definitely
join
was
me in
not.
holy
It was not
matrimony?
any of that.
Okay. Well,
But
try
yes,
anyways.
he had then asked and pulled out the ring, and I said, "Shut up," and that was my response.
That was your
She told me
affirmation.
to shut up.
Because my whole thought was that he had freaked out at the jewelry store because he's thinking this is too much. When in reality, he was freaking out because right then and there he just bought the ring.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Done.
then I
Put
was
it
I
in
had
your pocket.
done the thing.
Yeah.
That night.
Yeah.
Like when I was
Our
stressed.
first time looking at rings.
But I just felt it. Like it was just one of those things where I just felt that that was the ring, and I was like, I was gonna buy it regardless, and I was gonna pay it off, and you know that was a whole different story. Like that was terrible. When you're like 20 years old, don't go buy a big wedding ring.
Is that how old you were? 20?
We were 20.
21.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
Just
we were
babies.
officially legal when we were drinking at the bar.
Yeah. Somewhere around there, but it was pretty young. But I knew it in
21
my
when we
mind.
started dating. When we got engaged, it was
Yeah, we had 24, 25s.
24, maybe 24.
But I just knew I wanted her to be in my life forever, and that was the ring I wanted, and I was going to deal with all the hell that I was going to deal with come the next 2 years to take care of that, and an apartment that I was living in by myself now because
Sure.
she moved up to school, and I was like, hey, I don't want you to have to pay for rent or like anything. Like I got you. Like I got you.
Yeah. You're going to
I'm
be my
your
wife
guy.
now. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I am a saver. I have a bunch of money. I had planned for this. I was paying a little bit of rent to our friends that I was living with, but he's like, no. And I was like, well, it makes sense if you pay for like electric and all the utilities, but
Yeah.
I can still pay for rent. He goes, no, no, no.
I got it.
Fast
I'm the man.
forward, I find out that he had taken out a bunch of money on credit cards to try and pay for it, and then in turn has to then be like, well, I mean, if you want to pay me back for all the rent you did pay
I did.
me for.
I admit it. The total douchebag. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, if you wanted to pay me that money that you were willing to pay me then, I'll take it now.
Yeah.
Like, now that I'm a broke ass and I don't have anything to prove to you anymore or something,
Yes.
now that I've suckered you in, yeah.
Which is like it feels like it always happens that way, where you have like the person who's like, I'm frugal and I know how to save and I knew all this stuff, and then you just happen to shack up with the guy who's like 7 credit cards at 22% interest annually, blah blah blah. That all sounds
Sweet.
great. I'd
22
like
is better than 29. I'll take it.
sold, and they're like, I'm not selling anything, and you're like, well, find me something to buy.
Yeah. Well,
The worst too was like I had gotten him or like helped him figure out, and he had a 0% credit card. And then he saw this other offer that was like $5.99, and so then
I was conned.
he told me that he had transferred all of this stuff to this credit card that was $5.99, and I was like, yes, this one is $29.99, but you have like 6
saying-
more months of 0%
Yes,
interest.
yes.
So why
Yeah.
did you do that?
Because shiny, because it's the shiny new
It,
thing,
it was, yeah. I'm not known for thinking well. So
which is why you found someone who thinks well.
I
Balance.
think we do balance each other really
Smart,
well.
cute.
Like,
Go with that.
sure, I think you're beautiful. But yeah, I'm not the most intelligent one in this relationship.
So you guys are engaged and you're doing this. So what's kind of the, like, how long of an engagement did you have, and like what kind of was that like?
It was pretty quick. Like
We
within
got
2 years.
engaged on October 2nd because it's my parents' wedding anniversary that
Okay.
we had found out. And so I always wanted to get married in the fall. But being in nursing school, then that would have meant like planning everything while I was finishing up nursing
Yeah.
school, taking boards, all that craziness. So instead of having a year engagement, we ended up having like a year and a half because then we got married in May.
Okay.
So
And
It was pretty low key. Like we did the engagement pictures, and then like the wedding was all at one venue, so we pretty much did like all the stuff for that, and had all of everybody that we love. What are you looking at me like that for? Am I giving you that face?
you,
I'm thinking of Pine Peaks and how beautiful it was and how fun it was.
oh, I thought you were like forgetting. You're just like it was.
I remember.
It was cool.
No, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was up in Cross Lake, so it was a little bit of a destination for our family. But yeah, it was this awesome venue, beautiful outside place to get married, and then there was a house on the ground, so the whole entire wedding party could stay
Oh, awesome.
at
It
the
was the
grounds.
best party
love
you
that.
ever had.
Yeah,
Because all of
absolutely.
our
For 3 days, like you didn't have to just be there that night and then everybody leaves. It's
Yeah.
like they helped us set things up and decorate, and yeah, it was great. Continue. I'm sorry.
I don't know what that is.
So how long after marriage before, because we've got 4 babies now that are ages and names and ages for the
So
people.
Bryson is 7, Daxton is 5, Colton is 2.5, and then Delaney is 5 weeks.
So how long were we married before we were like, let's start popping them out?
She wanted it pretty quick.
I've always wanted a big family. I knew I wanted 5 kids. Also thought that I would have started having kids earlier.
Sure.
But I mean, that was my thought. Just my parents both have 9 brothers and sisters, and I had 1 brother, so I knew I wanted a big family.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got married in 2015, and then Bryson was born in 2017. So
Okay.
not super long.
You're good with the dates. People would ask me and stuff, and I'd be like, I don't, back in the 2000s.
In the teens.
Again, smart, cute.
Yeah. Okay. So how deep, because I know a decent amount about your story. So how deep do you want to go into that? Like kind of some of the struggles and things that you guys have gone through and what that's
Yeah.
kind of been like?
How Howard Stern do you want to get, Tracy?
How much do you want to pour out your soul? I mean, you're not very shy. I think
I'm an
you'll tell
alcoholic. I'll
anybody.
pour out my whole soul. To you.
I figured that's where she was going
Yeah,
with everything.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we can cover it all.
It's like,
whatever.
it's just from, I remember, like, I don't know that I ever knew, like, drinking Joe, maybe, or trying, how long have you been sober now, Joe?
It'll be two years here in a few weeks.
So I would have known you,
Not in a
yeah,
few
when you were,
weeks. In like 10 days. No,
The 28th.
yeah. So
Don't
today's
tell
the,
me my sobriety birthday.
woman.
Today's the 18th or 19th.
19th? It's the 19th today.
So yeah, you got 9 days left.
All right, well, that's over a week, so give me the benefit of the doubt that it's weeks. Okay.
Well, so then I would have known drunk Joe, but I don't know that I ever really, like, I didn't see any part of drunk Joe.
You
I
probably
just-
never stumble over here
No,
much.
no. But I've heard the stories that you've told, and then what kind of that was like. So, how, from an impacting your relationship standpoint, like, how was that like for you, Tracy? As you've kind of, because you guys were together for a long time before, like,
Tracy used to
sobriety
drink.
happened.
We used to drink for drink with each other when
Sure.
we were in Baxter.
Well, I mean, even back in college. I mean, college, everybody
Yeah.
drinks.
We all, yep, everybody.
You go to the Twins bar, it's 2 for 1s, like, or you
Yeah.
go to Grandma's $5 pitchers.
Long
for
Island
the
pitchers.
Yeah.
Long Islands and the kamikazes, and so I mean that's normal. When we moved out to Minot, I mean,
That's
there's
all you would
not
do.
a lot to do.
And
Yeah.
we
And
were
there's a lot
making
of
good money,
Crown.
so we bought Crown and Pendleton. We weren't drinking that Windsor we had in Minnesota. We were like
Yeah.
on these freaking soapboxes, and because you were making money and you had nothing to do. Nobody out there had anything to do.
And where
but
we
drink.
lived, our apartment was here, and then the mall where Olive Garden was right here. So it was literally on the other side of like this big, I don't know, like the whole mall parking lot. Our apartment was on the other side, so we could walk to work, and then we could walk to the other bar.
Yeah.
So lots of drinking there.
Lots of
and then
excess.
in Baxter, when we moved back, I mean, still I kind of slowed it down like in nursing school because I had to. But then afterwards, it was back normal. I guess I didn't think it was like excessive. It was this is just what you do when you're young.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant with Bryson, and then obviously did not drink, just stuck to the hardcore drugs.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no drinking, no
Fish
doing
oil
anything.
prenatals.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm popping pills every morning, and still am.
Yeah.
But yeah, then after that, I'm not drinking while I'm pregnant. I'm not really drinking while I'm breastfeeding. So that kind of changed for me at that part. But yeah, when I went up to nursing school, obviously the test every week and everything, like I didn't have time to drink. He's living by himself in
Yeah.
Baxter.
Costco just opened up in Baxter. Kirkland vodka rocked.
They're not a sponsor, so we
And
don't.
I was living by myself. So I mean, I was just living my best life. My buddies would come over, we'd play Guitar Hero and Call
Yeah.
of Duty, and
House
we would
parties
just drink, and
yeah.
that's what we did, And so it was normal. But like when she would see me, when we had finally moved, did we move to St. Cloud then?
Yes. Well, I think it was still like that was whatever. Like I had come back and then like, or you'd want to drink when you came up to visit me, and I'd be like, no, I'm not going to, and just again put it on to school. But then yeah, it was once we had Bryson.
You stopped drinking and I continued to, and so as we're sitting there at the kitchen island talking to each other, and I'm on my third drink in an hour, she asked me, and I remember it. She'd asked me, she's like, why do you need to have so many drinks? Like, I get it if you like want to have a drink when you come home, but like, why do you need to have so many? And
It's a Tuesday night, and
Yeah.
we
yeah, and
literally
for me, that was like a sign of, hey, well, now you need to hide it. Now you need to hide how much you're doing because you're not going to get
'Cause
away
you're
with
being
drinking as
judged
much
now,
as
yeah.
you want it. And so
not that soon, though, was it?
yeah.
Back after Bryson already.
Right?
I don't
I was
know.
drunk
Again,
for
everything.
most of it, Tracy. Yeah, it was. It was when we were when you were pregnant with Bryson, and it was just like
Because Bryson,
that was the difference.
when I was pregnant with Bryson, we were still living in Cold Spring.
And then we moved to St. Cloud after he was born.
No, we moved to Becker.
Or Becker, that's right.
Because I don't think you had issues when we were in the apartment or in Cold Spring.
No, not till you gave me my own house with cupboards. Don't give me a garage. Don't give me cupboards. But yeah, that's where it kind of
Daxton.
it became a sneaking thing instead of just drinking and becoming the alcoholic that is just in your face about it. I became the sneak one, right? And continued to just sneak it because I knew I was being judged. And it kind of went through a few phases, right? Where
Because you would
I'd
let
show
me
you,
see
you
what
would
you
see.
thought.
I had the bottle that's in there, and she'd see what I wanted her to see. I was like a magician, right?
Sure,
You'll
of
see what I
course,
want
yeah.
you to see, but I'm gonna act like I drank as much as you think I did, you know. But you're not gonna know it because who would think that I have this 175 out in the garage that I'm gonna fill it to the level that think that you maybe saw it at last.
Sure.
Because when you're in that mindset, you're just
It's the
thinking
mental
It's
gymnastics.
like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
was like working out all the time in my brain.
Yeah.
On how I was gonna make it work to manipulate and get what I needed out of it. Never any other time thinking that there was probably something wrong
Right.
with this behavior.
It's
you know?
wrong. It's what's wrong with Tracy.
You
The
rely-
fact that
yeah,
she's
it's
judging you. Yeah.
rationalizing like, well, she doesn't want me to drink 3. Well, then I'll drink 2 in front of her, and it just became this snowball as anything with substance abuse does, and we continued to have kids, right? And so like even through kids, I thought that it would change me. Like I'll quit drinking when Bryson's around, and then Daxton. Well, I'm a chef at this point, and are you kidding me? That's what you do after you're done.
Absolutely.
Like you can't wait till you get the shifty. And for me, it would be if we would go out or do anything, like I would always have to pregame because I didn't want people to see how much it took me to get to where they were, because obviously there's something wrong with me, but I'm not recognizing it. And it was like that. Like we had the boys and it never stopped. And then when we had Colton, I don't even know what it was. Just one day I had got done with getting a roof approved and I was like, this is awesome. I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to go
Because
buy
there was plenty of times that you would quit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a whole rabbit hole. Like there was, hey Tracy, I actually have been drinking but I haven't seen you drinking. Well, I've been hiding it in the garage. She'd be like, what, dude? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm not going to do it again. And she'd trust me. And then like a week later, I'm like trying in my head to not drink, right? Because I didn't want to, honestly, but I have this obsession where I had to. And it would get back to another point where I'm like, oh, I bought another bottle and I'm in the garage again. And it's just a matter of time before I get too drunk I just give myself away because you're not a great actor when you're under an influence. And there would be times when and I would lie if she would ask me in an offset way about it because she didn't want to like badger me like, are you drinking? Like, because then
I wanted to trust you.
You wanted to trust
Yeah.
me, and I took advantage of that, right? And so any situation that she'd be like, why are you acting like? Well, I can't even get upset. I'm drinking if I'm upset, and it's like, well, no, I'm just asking. Like, asking a
he'd
question.
get to
like,
a point and
but I had a guilty conscience, so obviously I'm like defensive about it, and I lost where I was going with it. I was getting defensive about it.
But yeah, there'd be something going on, and I'd be like, it just seems like something's off. Like you don't seem like yourself.
You're acting
I
more
have
than
to
2
ask.
drinks in.
Or like I'd be like, are you drinking more? And he'd be like, no. Or then we would have an argument. And he goes, no, I'm not drinking. Like I can get mad at you because I'm not. Doesn't have to be because we're drinking. And I'd just be like, but it just seems weird.
Yeah.
Something doesn't feel quite right. And then he would admit it, and then I'd be like, well, why'd you have a drink? You've been sober for like 6 months. And he's like, it was more like,
Yeah.
6
I was sober
days.
for that week when you would ask me if I was still sober, and then I just prayed for the next 5 months that you wouldn't ask me if I had been, because then I don't have to
Yeah.
lie to you.
Yeah.
I mean, you manipulate. Like, I'll find any loophole in why. Well, you didn't ask me if I was drinking vodka.
So yeah.
You
So
asked me if I had some beers. No, I didn't have any beers. I had a pint of vodka. Like that kind of that you do with
Yeah.
that mental malady. And then so I had that day where I bought the booze after a good day at work, and I'm like, why do I do this? And she had told me a couple times prior to that, like, maybe you should go to an AA meeting.
Well, when I'd find out that he had started drinking again, because there'd be times, so like we live like 3 blocks from the daycare. So it would be a day that we both had off. We'd walk the boys to the daycare. And then on the walk back, I'd be like, oh, do you want to go for like a longer walk or something? And he'd already be crabby at me. And I'm like, what's going on? We literally dropped the kids off.
Yeah.
Now we don't have to worry about kids. Like, why are you crabby now? And didn't understand that.
I was literally craving it that bad that I couldn't even enjoy a morning walk with my wife after dropping our kids off because I needed to get back to it so badly. But how do you disguise that? Well, you disguise it in anger or any of the other things to make that person think that maybe it's their fault. And it's like, I got to go to the bathroom. Well, no, we just left. Well, it's because
I told you and the boys to pee before we left the
drinking
house.
since 7 o'clock, and I need to go, and I don't need to let you know that. And then the whole thing of it. And so I just went to a meeting and from there found the things that I needed to, and that changed, I mean, literally almost everything for us. I don't think we ever fought now I look back to when we first started dating, when we were engaged, there was a time, can I tell it?
Go ahead.
We were in
It
Duluth.
makes you look bad.
we were in Duluth, and we were hanging out at our friends that she was staying at's house, and we went out drinking, and she never drank like me, right? I'm drinking to drink.
hurt yourself. Yeah.
And I don't remember all of it, but I
I
remember
probably asked you to slow down a little bit.
yeah, you probably gave me some nice suggestions, and I was probably like yeah, duh, what? And we were walking around outside, and I had was so upset her that I asked for my ring back.
Oh.
I did. I said, you don't even deserve that ring. Give it back. And I don't remember if you gave it back to me or what.
No, because that was the night of what's his
Oh,
face?
another person
Mitch
had
or
a big
whatever
drunk
we-
thing. They were like a hurricane, and then
Yeah,
she's
we called him
she's
Hurricane Mitch.
nursing.
So I'm like,
she's having to nurse somebody who's sick from alcohol. Like it was, and as you think back to even prior to that and all these things, that was the common denominator was that substance, and
Yeah.
so we took that out of the equation. And now we're just like other normal people who just fight because they're crazy with kids and life. And
we don't even fight. Like I would say, like in the past 2 years, like we haven't had like a fight. It's like
it
little
gets resolved
bickerings,
because it's like
but
you don't drag it through anymore. Because I'm not falling asleep drunk anymore after the fight
Yeah.
and waking up just happy as a lark.
not even that much. Like he'd get done yelling about something, go to the garage to cool off, and then he'd come back in. So, honey, what should we watch? I'm like,
Yeah, dude.
sorry.
You literally have a tape recorder in your brain. At a certain point, you stop, and it would be like that. And
he had no idea what was going.
yeah, it was no way to live.
So what did Tracy, with everything that this lovely golden retriever of a man that
right
you married,
back to you, baby.
what kept you there? That sucks. It sucks. Like in the back of your mind, all of this, like it sucks. But what was it?
I don't know. We had always gotten along so well. Like it literally was just like best friends right away. So I don't know. If I was just dumb or wanted to believe him, but every time he would say he'd quit, I'd trust him and then be bummed out when I had find out that he had started again. But I don't know. I don't feel like even if I want to vent about like something that had happened back then, or like I'd want to talk to like my nursing girlfriends or like even my cousin, like anything that was going on.
Sorry, had to itch my nose.
Before I even talk to them, I'm already thinking of like how to defend him before
Yeah.
I, like, oh, he was so dumb doing this, but at the same time this, and like, so that in my mind always made me think like, I don't know, there's something
I'm
special.
already
'cause-
making excuses. It can't be so bad,
But like, I don't even want, like, you see those friends that like are on Facebook that are like complaining
yes.
and constantly have something bad to say. And it's like, I'm mad and want to vent, but I also still don't want anybody else to
I
think
don't want
bad
to
about them.
tarnish
Right.
you because I'm upset.
Because we
we'll
had a
work-
fight, and then
we'll
I
work
talked
through
myself
it.
out of like, well, I probably should have done this differently, and like, I don't know. would just always.
I duped you.
Oh yeah.
I fucking duped you.
I think he's been drugging me. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know. He's just.
Can I answer that question for her if she doesn't know the answer? I think you truly saw the good in me, right? You saw the Joe that was there, and you understood that there were some issues, and you understood that if I was willing to take steps I needed to, you could have that Joe that you wanted. And once I saw that, I wanted that Joe too. And now we don't, it's like, I say fight, but yeah, like it's not it's an argument or a discussion, and we figured out, because you do that. Like, I think you do that initially through a relationship with each other, but then you have kids and you learn how you have to do things also with them, and also have each other's back and not undermine each other. Cause like we punish different, right? Like we come from different families, and it's like, I have to make sure that I don't undermine her wanting to be calm and cool when they spilled something that I told them not to do. All right. It's like, it's, and so there is that balance of people. I couldn't raise these dudes alone. Well, now with little Lainey, but like, that's
because
too much
they're
Odel for
miniature
me.
versions
It's
of
too much
yourself,
Odel for me,
and
man. Like, I don't
we
know
are just in for
what
worse.
I was even thinking. But it is. It's like I feel like I have the perfect balance, the perfect partner to do all this crazy stuff that we're doing with.
We're those weird people that like.
We don't sit on the same side of the booth weird, but we like want to hang out with each other weird. Like,
I love going out to play volleyball on Monday nights, but at the same time, I'm like, gosh, do I really have to leave? Like, to go do this? Then it's fun when you're there, but then, like, you're happy to be home.
You're, like, missing me, and I'm only 15 minutes away. And
You guys are so cute, gross.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we just like to hang out with.
It's a best friend thing, literally.
Well, and you can see it. You can see that you guys genuinely have a genuine connection, not just like that supersedes, like, yes, you love each other, and yes, you're doing the family thing, but you can see that you guys are just, there's like a little bubble that just encapsulates both of you together.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, when you tell people you have 4 kids, and almost everybody's like, Jesus, or whatever. It's like, I know.
Which is weird. If you say you have 3 kids, people are like, oh, cool. And then you're like, 4. They're like, oh, my God. It's one.
It's like another vehicle. But it's because we wanted to do this, right? I feel like, at least in my opinion, we did this the right way. We fell in love. We got engaged. We gave each other that trial run. We got married, and we're going through it. And we want the family. We want the crazy. We're asking for all this shit, in a crazy way, because it's what we want in our lives. So,
well, I love it. You guys have. I love to hear a little bit of the backstory of the love stories, to be able to like see where you guys are today, and I'm proud of you for what you've done, and I'm proud of you for being able to just, to be there and be supportive. And you guys clearly are there supporting each other and clearly loving each other, and I love that for you both.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being
Should
here.
we seal it with a kiss?
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, I don't want to have to wash that couch.
I said a kiss.
Well, thank you for being here, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fun fact, first kiss on that couch.
Oh, yeah.
Had any kisses?
Second kiss.
Thank you for listening to the Love Story Podcast. You can subscribe to the show, and you can follow us at the Love Story Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.